Well, welcome to Beechwood Lake, Tioga County, Pennsylvania. And this is the last ice fishing tournament for the Northeast Panfish League for this season. It's March 16th, and we still have about 18 inches of good ice here. Right now there's no water on top, no slush, good solid ice. I think the air temperature right now is hovering around 15 degrees and a little breeze going, making it a little chilly. This is a little special lake for me, and it is a small lake, but many years ago when I had held my first ice fishing tournament with the Northeast Ice Tour, this was the lake that I had my first tournament on, and that first tournament was won by Kevin Riley and Daryl Horton, and they're both here today fishing. Although they both have different partners, and most of the teams right now are way up in the upper end of the lake, up in the shallow water. That's where the creek comes in, and presumably it's pushing in a little bit warmer water, maybe. But anyway, I think everybody headed up there hoping that's where the panfish are congregated. But we're going to head out and talk to them a little bit and see how they're doing today. We all start to think about warm weather and open water and getting the boats out for our first pan fishing tournament, which will be, I believe it's April 19th at Pinchot State Park in York County, Pennsylvania. Okay, we're coming up here on Kevin Riley and Tony Orr, I believe. As you can see, Kevin is deep in concentration here. So we're going to stand here and try not to disturb him too much, but just by the way he's looking at his flasher and his rod there, I presume he's marking fish. And he's marking a tight-lipped fish, he says. There's a lot of them in here, especially at this time of year after getting pounded all winter long. Have we been doing anything good yet, Kevin?
A couple small ones.
A couple small ones? Okay, well, I'll tell you that's all anybody else is doing too, so. And it probably won't take much more than about 5 pounds to win this tournament today. And I could be wrong, of course, because somebody always finds bigger fish than you'd think they would, but right here, Kevin Riley's partner has something on nice. Well, it's a nice little rainbow trout. Sure is a lot of fun, but doesn't cash a paycheck. Well, I'll tell you what, we're 3 or 4 weeks away from opening day of chop season here in Pennsylvania, so that would make some guys jealous. But hopefully they'll get into some good panfish here. We'll come back and check on them a little bit later. Anyway, here we are with Greg Weigel, Donald Whitmer's partner there in the red. They're always here, always a force to be reckoned with. I know he told me, Greg here told me that they have some crappies. He said they're not real big, but he said they put together a limit of 12 to begin, and then they can start to look for bigger fish and pick and choose. He's fishing about 15 foot of water. He's fishing fairly high off the bottom, I believe.
Yep. Looking for him suspended.
Yep.
Gotta keep popping holes. They're moving.
Yeah, it's a tough bite. I think it's pretty much a tough bite for everybody here today.
Perch on the bottom.
Yeah, the problem with the perch in this lake is that if you get one over 5 inches, you got the biggest one in the lake. Now, I might be exaggerating there slightly. Hell, there might be a 7-incher here somewhere. And over here, the last team we're going to talk to on this little tour, well, actually not, because we're going to come back and talk to some other people, but we're going to head over here and talk to Ron Wagner and Daryl Horton. They're sort of fishing out on the edge all the way from everybody else. And in case nobody's noticed it, they They are currently the leaders in the points race for the ice fishing season. They're 16 pounds, I believe, ahead of everybody else. And basically it's impossible for anybody to catch them. I know they weren't even going to fish it today, but they decided to come up and fish it anyway. So they don't like to talk real much on the video. They're secretive with their techniques and their lures and how they do things. They keep everything pretty well guarded. But we'll go up and watch them for a couple minutes anyway. I'll talk to him a little bit. I know one of these days Daryl's going to open up and tell me all of his secrets. Okay, well, I'm not going to talk to Ron Wagner and Daryl Horton much. Although I pretty much am going to have to go over and tell Daryl Horton he should have got a Jiffy, because it would have started by now. But if I talk to them too much, I'm going to disturb them. But I'm going to take a sneak little peek in their bucket here, and I'm not going to tell anybody else what I see in their bucket. And once again, the team to be reckoned with is doing very well for so early in the tournament day. Now we're going to come up to Colby and Caroline, I believe. Carolyn, maybe? I think it's Caroline. Yeah. It is. Colby just told me. How are you guys making out so far today?
We got a couple.
Got a couple? Gills? Crappies?
Crappies.
Good. Okay. As long as you don't have a bucket full of those 3-inch perch, you're going to be doing okay.
We managed to stay away from them so far.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Stay away from them.
Now, I see the sun's starting to come out over there on the far hill. Probably another hour here, it'll hit the lake. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad. It'll warm things up for people a little bit, but... We're back here with Donald Whitmer and Greg Weigel here. Greg just got a crappie here a couple seconds ago. And
remember, they're not in season.
And Donald just caught a nice rainbow trout here. Yep, nice little stock rainbow trout. Back into the hole it goes.
I got a pile of fish now.
Something to get the blood flowing a little bit, but they've put together a nice little limit here.
Well, you know, I was wondering why he was only a foot under the ice.
Now
I know why. There we go. Here's another one coming. Yeah, I got a bunch too.
They're both marking a bunch of fish here. But I think everybody seems to be marking a little fish. It's trying to get the fish to commit to opening their mouths and inhaling that jig.
Oh, they are. They're slamming it. He left.
We'll take a quick peek in their bucket here, since they were nice enough to leave their bucket sitting out for us. Yep, and they got a couple decent crappies in there. Again, this lake isn't known for big fish, but we'll walk around here and see what we can do. You know, it's funny, people. We're here with Greg Martin, of course, the owner of the Northeast Panfish League, and he's taken an opportunity today to actually fish a little bit, which is something he doesn't get to do very often. And I'm not going to comment on his fish catching abilities because, well, people are watching this and I don't want to embarrass him in public. But I was having some problems with the camera, so I came over to ask him if he could fix the camera, and we think it's working now. And I tell you that we're going to stay here until Greg catches a fish, but it's cold. And it's going to get dark at some point today. He has been catching a couple, though. You caught a couple trout, too, didn't you, Greg?
Yeah. Yep.
I think everybody's been catching some trout. Well, I can see on your flasher there. I can see there's fish down there.
Oh, I lost them. I lost them.
Well, he claims he just had one hooked and he lost it. but I always say that if it's not flopping on the ice, it doesn't count. And I can see on the flasher screen there's one coming up to look at it. Yep. Oh, there. He was there. There he is. No? Is that your... Yeah, I'll set the hook and everything for you. There you go, buddy. Okay.
Second biggest in the lake.
He just caught the second biggest perch in the lake. The biggest one is in his bucket. It's about 7 inches. Well, we've been walking around out here talking to different people and see how they're doing. The sun's out now, hitting the lake fully. Probably has been for about an hour now, I would guess. And things have slowed down, but guys are still catching them pretty regularly. Again, we haven't seen anything really impressive, but there's been some pretty decent limits put together. You know, I think it's definitely going to take 12 crappies to win it. I think anybody that's counting on having a bluegill or perch in their limit is going to end up being hurt, because most of the bluegills are fairly small, and the crappies are a little bit better anyway. So we're coming up on killer team Harrison and Garrison here. They have an interesting little game plan they have here. Is that as soon as one of them hooks a fish, before they even have it out of the hole, the other partner comes running over to drop his jig down there as soon as the first guy pulls his fish up out of the hole. And that's what just happened there. They do that in case there's a couple fish down there looking at the jigs. Right now Ronnie's just walking around looking for fish again. We'll take a peek in their bucket. My guess right now is they'd probably make the top 3 somewhere without looking in their bucket. Yeah, I got a decent limit in there. We'll see what happens at weigh-in, which isn't that far away, so hopefully that wind dies down a little bit before weigh-in time. Help us out a little bit. Well, we have everything set up for weigh-in up here. I think there's still about a half hour left before weigh-in, but a couple teams are starting to head in already. It's been cold and windy out there all day. That wind's just howling across the lake. Now I will say the first team coming in here, I think that these guys would have the fortitude to stick it out for the day. They're usually pretty serious, but I guess the elements got the best of them. Oh well. Well, we're getting close to the weigh-in here, and teams are heading back. And you know, it occurred to me that this team coming up here, I've got on video every single tournament except this one. So I'm going to look at Smiling Clem there, walking, dragging all his stuff up the hill. He doesn't look overly happy. What about John here?
What's that?
How's John looking? I didn't interview you today. John, stop. Give me a minute of your time. I talk to you every tournament. Today I didn't do it. I forgot all about you. I don't know why. How'd you do today?
We caught fish.
You got a little fish. You got a limit.
Yes.
Do you have bluegills in the limit?
Yeah.
That's not good. Do you have any perch in the limit?
A couple.
That's really bad. Because I've seen every perch that's been caught on this lake for the past 6 years, and there's not a one that I'd want to weigh in. But anyway, we'll see how you did.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks for taking a moment for us. We doing good, Ron? How do we do, man?
Fish weren't there today like they were yesterday.
Yeah. Hey, Ron. I don't want to hear none of that in open water.
Give hell, Brian.
I'm going to.
Well, got enough. Did you count them?
I did
You don't
not.
have to count them
But
again.
I'll tell you what, there's a perch in there that looks to me like it goes almost 9 inches. And if it is, that's the biggest perch that's ever come out of
We have
this
two
lake.
in there like that. They were
Oh, we had
they
two
were
pretty-
heavier than some of our crappies.
Two pretty good ones.
Huh. Well, that's good. I'm curious to see how you do it weighing, because I predicted anybody that had perch in their limit was going to do no good.
Well, we had crappies we put back. Kept a bigger perch. Way too. Did her have it.
You just held your hands out about 14 inches apart and said we had 2 in the end.
That's how big my bass was.
Is that how big your bass was?
It really was.
Well, everybody's heading in here, and we're going to get started with the weigh-in here in a little bit. And hopefully we'll be able to video the weigh-in this time, and everything will go smoothly. We hope. Might have 12 fish. Mike, we have a big fish.
Yeah, let me dump it in there. There should be a set of force steps somewhere. That fish stuck up 15 inches now. You said you had one.
I stepped on him, but he shrank back
Is
up.
that one?
0.40 on big fish. 0.40.
Sarah's got them all beat.
4.24. 4.24.
Yes.
Yeah, team number there.
10.
Team 10. You got 12 fish?
Yep.
Got 12 fish. Big fish. .50. .50. Perfect half pounder. Feels like a good weight. 4.25. 4.25.
I said it.
I'd have put for someone.
3.83. 3.83. Team number that. 3. No. Team 3. Team 3. 12 fish? 12 fish? Yes, 12 fish. That's amazing. We're looking for a big fish.
My bucket's sitting behind you.
Greg says his bucket's right behind you if you need to borrow a big fish. .56. .56. Got a new leader in big fish. There's a surprise.
You're wrong. When you get out of here, I'll tell you what I really think.
Dump them in there.
4.78. 4.78.
I can't see it, but I have it. Just see your gills. Don't even say Big fish. If you want to call it that. No, that's up to you if you want to weigh it.
Team number 9. Got a 12 fish limit? Yep. Got 12 fish limit. Here we go with big fish. .47. 0.47 on big fish. Fish, mostly crafty, a couple decent bluegills in there. 3.90. Be a bucket, be a bucket. Team number 2. Team number 2. 12 fish. No big fish. 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. Nice weight though. .04. 4.04. Team number 4. Team number 4. You got 12 fish here, Kevin? Yeah. Got 12 fish limit.
All right.
.46. 0.46 on big fish.
Yeah, we can be called out 3 right there at the end.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 4.23. 4.23.
Well, I guess it's not there.
A lot of clues.
I'll tell you what, man, just about every freaking limit we're weighing is 4.2, 4.3. Anybody that didn't weigh fish? That's it. That's it.
I'll give you something to hold.
Okay, well, we're done with the weigh-in. I think we got the weigh-in on video, but I'm not sure because I was just handed the camera. But here's we're gonna talk to Ron Wagner real quick. Hold up both those plaques, Ron. The plaque on the left there, the white plaque, that's for Ice Angler of the Year that he took. And there on the right is the one that he got for first place in the tournament today. How many tournaments did you win this year, Ron?
3.
You took first place in 3.
Yes.
How many tournaments did you catch big fish in?
3, I think. 3.
3? Okay. I thought it was more than that, but I'll take your word for 3. Okay. What are you using?
Come on, you can tell us now.
Goldfish and Mackey's.
Goldfish and Mackey Plastics.
Jamie's.
Jamie's. Okay. Is your partner going to tell me another story?
Probably.
He won't tell me at all. That's why I came to you. Thanks, Ron. See, now we got Daryl Horton here walking across the parking lot. He just put his plaques back in his truck. But now I was just talking to Ron, your partner, and you guys took Ice Angler of the Year this year by a big amount. Not just a couple ounces, but by like
pounds.
yeah, by 16 pounds. Yeah. He said 3 first place finishes. Does that sound right? How many big fish do you think?
I'm not sure.
Okay, he said 3. I thought it was 4. Yeah. Okay. Okay. What were you using? I was told Gold Fiskies and Mackie Plastics.
That's a Mackie. Well, there it is, Mackie Plastics.
There it is, Mackie Plastics. Scott makes good plastics.
Very good. Yep.
Scott makes good plastics.
Mackies.
Okay.
Red, white, green.
Okay. So somebody comes out here next year. They're going to fish their first ice fishing tournament next year, and they're going to fish all the tournaments. Give them a word of advice. Drill a lot of holes and keep moving until you find fish. Look for your aggressive fish. Okay. I'll do that next year. Thanks, Daryl.